A children's advocacy group is trying to build support for a new push on literacy called Ready to Read Massachusetts. Currently, reading scores are less than proficient for more than 40% of the state's third graders, and that goes for at least 60% of the students who are Black, Latino, or poor. To tell us about the campaign and a series of literacy information sessions is our guest and organizer from Stand for Children, Massachusetts, Veronica Antich. Thank you very much for being with us, Veronica.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, talk about what it's like for a parent to be part of this, at least experiencing part of this problem with the child.
A lot of parents struggle with their children in reading levels. If they don't read at the grade level, then they cannot pass the grade or they can graduate. So all of them help a lot by reading at home. It doesn't matter if you cannot read in English. You can read to your child in your native language as long as you read. Reading every night could make a huge difference on a child's education and future.
What's the barrier to getting parents to do that? I mean, I imagine if you come from another country, getting books in your native language is extremely difficult. Maybe getting books in English isn't so easy either, as far as the money.
It is actually not hard. Every public library has a variety of books. They always carry books in any imaginable language. My first language is Spanish, and anytime I go to the library, I can find Spanish books, so it is not hard. I encourage parents to visit the local library and they will find books to read, and also they can reach out to Read Boston, Raising the Reader. There are a lot of programs out there in Boston that will give free books to your child.
Now, I know we have success stories about young people come to this country, maybe even when they're 12 years old, they don't know a word of English, and eventually they go on to do great things. But what is it about third grade reading scores? It sounds almost as if you're doomed if you're not up to level in the third grade.
Yes, because from pre-K to third grade, children are learning to read, because after that, children are going to read to learn. If they're not reading proficiently, they will not be learning what they're supposed to. They will feel frustrated, and they're 4 times more likely to drop out of school. And we know that a lot of children that drop out of school, they're not going to go to college, they're not going to get a good job, and they're not going to be part of the economy of a nation.
Well, another thing that might confront parents is that even if they do take time to read with their children, they might find that there might be a disability involved too, and that child might need some additional help. I mean, what about exploring resources like that?
That's one of the things that we want to explore and strategize, the early detection of a problem. It might be just that the child needs glasses, but they don't have money enough to take the child to an eye doctor. So if there's early detection from pre-K to first grade, then they can start treating the problem, so by the time they get to the third grade, they're reading at proficient level.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Veronica Antich from Stand for Children, Massachusetts. Veronica, I guess the other thing is what you need in the schools on a regular basis. I hear different stories. Some people tell me they have great programs in reading and learning English, but in some other schools I hear they need to do it better. How do you make that happen?
A lot of low-income schools do not have the resources like we can find in high-income communities. So one of the things could be donating more books, getting more funding to that school to be able to run reading programs, to have more tutors, to have summer programs to be able to help these children to improve their reading levels.
Of course, the other question is early education. How big a deal is that to getting those good reading scores by grade 3?
It is. Early education is key for this, because kids are getting to school at the age of 5 right now, and by the time they get to school, some of them have been lucky enough to go to a private preschool and have learned how to read in this school, so their moms have helped them at home. But some parents work all time. They even have 2 and 3 jobs to be able to afford the housing incomes and the housing costs, and they don't have the time to help their children, and they don't have the money to put them in private pre-K. So if there will be more seats for the 3 and 4 years old, that they will start early and they will learn early, and then they will not have this problem.
Well, tell us what these information sessions are going to be like.
These information sessions are 45 minutes long. There are two more happening here in Boston during the month of July. One is actually this week on Thursday, July 20th, from 12 to 12:45 at the Josephine Fiorentino Community Center in Alston. In these information sessions, we're going to talk more about the rates of literacy and how parents can help at home, can help in their community, what strategies are we thinking of, and they can also take action during these info sessions by spreading the voice with their friends, by sharing our website. The website is readytoreadma.org. So they can find more information there, and they also can RSVP because we're offering Child Watch, we're offering translation if they speak Spanish, and we're also offering refreshments.
If people want to call or send an email to set that up, what's the best way to do it?
They can email me. My email is vantich, A-N-T-I-C-H, @stand.org.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Veronica Antich from Stand for Children, Massachusetts. We'll have more news in just a moment.